now I'm 64, been married 40 years, have great kids, and starting another career. Yeah. And every 10 years of my life, by the way, I've started a new career. And when I became a writer, my first book won an award. When we had our fashion company, one of our fashion lines won the Acqua Domani Award in the first year. When we did commercials, our first commercial came out #1 ad rate for the Super Bowl. Wow. Like each time we moved into a new career, we broke new ground, and people thought it was crazy. And it's because I dreamed about it for a long time. Yeah. I turned it into a hobby, then started playing with it until I realized somebody would pay me, and then I ended up turning it into a career. Yeah. And that's why, in this journey, I go, I'm not done. If I live 3 more decades, I'll have 3 more careers. Yeah. And because every 10 years, I want to challenge myself. I want to keep expanding, I want to keep growing. I want to keep destroying more of those limitations.
There was a great episode of the Derek Sivers was on Tim Ferriss's podcast. Probably a decade ago. It was forever ago. But he tells the story, and I still remember it. It's like, he's like, there's a donkey in the middle. He's a starving and thirsty donkey, right? And on the left is water, on the right is food. And so he looks to his left, and he looks to his right, looks to his left, looks to his right, and then eventually falls over dead because he can't make a decision. And he uses that, and he turns it to the idea that people oftentimes are stuck in this, what do I do with my life? And he brings us this amazing mindset shift for me. And that's why I still remember it. He said, you can do a different thing every decade and have like 9 lives, 9 different careers, and do an entire, a decade is a long time. So I love that you brought up decade, because when I look at my life, my life has operated in decades. I mean, I'm not still a fairly young guy, but from 20 to 30 was my wife and I grinding, buying little rental properties. And then from about 27 to 37 was me like building this real estate podcast that I was on. And now I'm in this new decade. And I'm like, for the next 10 years, I'm going to do this better life thing, because this is super cool. And this is where my passion is. So it's okay to have multiple things and not try to cram it all in at one time. Then it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think that you can live a lot of lives in one lifetime.
Yeah, that's it.
And enjoy it the whole time.
Yeah. And so if we remember, especially us, we will likely live a lot longer than our parents. Like the technological advances will probably, so maybe I'll live to, 120. My kids might live to 140. Who knows, right? We can hope. But we have long lives ahead of us. And we'll probably be healthier, I'm hoping, at the end of our life also than earlier generations who by 50 they were already too sick and overweight to do anything. Yeah. So hopefully I'll be healthy till 90. So we'll have a long life. It gives a lot of reduces a lot of the stress of having to do everything.
Yeah, I can tell you this at my stage of life here at 64, that 2 of the things are really important for me. One is mental agility. And the other one is mental toughness. Yep. And with mental agility is to stay curious, to keep learning, to keep growing, to not feel as if you've already hit some pinnacle of knowledge or learning or insight. And I'm more curious now than ever been in my whole life. And I feel like I'm learning more, and I feel like a novice. I feel like I'm just starting in my life, and I'm so excited. The other part of it, though, is mental toughness. It's going back and sometimes fighting fights you had fought before and won, but then you kind of lost ground. I told my wife at 65 this August, I want to be in the best physical shape of my life. And it's hard. I mean, I've torn things and broken things on every part of my body. And I mean, from torn Achilles to brain damage to broken jaw to just everything. And so and remember the last time I think I tore my hamstring, and I thought to myself, I don't know if I can recover from this. I literally had an internal challenge of going, I think this is the one that brings me down. I was playing basketball up to the time of 63, and I haven't played in the last year, just rehabbing my body. And I came to a certain point. At first, it was like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do this. And then I had something happen to my eyes. My eyes kind of exploded, and I can't see as clearly. And I was playing pickleball with this guy that's never beat me, and my eyes actually had this trauma that week, and I didn't tell him, and he beat me 3 games in a row, and he's so excited. and I remember after the first game when I lost, I thought to myself, oh, I can't see. And then by the second game, I thought to myself, I think I'm not going to play pickleball anymore. I think that or paddle tennis, I don't think I can win anymore. Then by the third game, which I lost as well, I told myself, this is a new challenge. I'm going to learn how to see with this deficiency. I'm going to learn how to win, and I'm going to come back and beat them all. And I actually felt myself going through these, but it wasn't like a loss, a draw, and a win. It was 3 losses. The only thing that changed were my internal frameworks. And so then I just started. I joined this gym. I got myself in there. I've been in there all the time. I'm like, I'm doing everything I can physically to get myself back in shape. I'm going with a specialist to get myself healed. You just have to be tough enough to endure the pain.
Yeah.
And that's something early on I learned in my life was that if I can see pain as a threshold between average to greatness, it will change my life. And most people see pain as the threshold of their capacity. I see pain as the threshold of my mediocrity. And those two things, as you grow older, mental agility and mental toughness, will carry you for decades.
That's powerful, man.